Six Flags Fiesta Texas just announced their brand new roller coaster for 2027, and it is a very interesting ride. And so in this video, I'm going to break down my thoughts on this ride and what I think it could mean for the Six Flags chain, Vekoma, and most importantly, Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Werewolf Gorge is a Vekoma family multi-launch coaster similar to Big Bear Mountain, and is located in the Crack Axle Canyon area of Six Flags Fiesta Texas. This ride has been talked about for a long time and has been teased heavily for months, and so it's kind of relieving to finally know what they're building. And Vekoma Family Launch Coaster was definitely the leading rumor. I have had the opportunity to be on Big Bear Mountain, and it is a really, really good family coaster, one of the best ones that I've ridden. This one will be larger than Big Bear Mountain and will feature 4 launches instead of 3. And the first launch on Big Bear Mountain kind of doesn't really count because it only has 1 element after it before you hit another launch. But these are 4 full-fledged launches. It will be 4,120 feet long, which I think is like 200 feet longer than Big Bear Mountain or something like that. It will have 32 floater airtime moments, which I'm kind of curious on how many of those are actually going to hit. But that is still pretty crazy for a family coaster. And it will reach speeds of 45 miles per hour and will have a height requirement of 39 inches just like Big Bear Mountain. It's also pretty interesting to know that this will be the world's longest family launch roller coaster. Now, they are not including Hagrid's in this number, and I don't know if they're including Cosmic Rewind. I don't remember how long that ride is, but it is not longer. I know Hagrid's. I'm not sure about Cosmic Rewind, but it looks like a really well-themed ride. Also, one thing that is a first ever for Vekoma is that this will have a swing launch. Now, it isn't really a back and forth launch. It's more like you slow down, go backwards, and then launch forwards again. There's only really 1 launch in the entire sequence, but it is extremely similar to another werewolf-themed roller coaster that opened in 2025, which is Curse of the Werewolf at Epic Universe, which I think is kind of funny and interesting. The ride sports kind of like a dark, reddish-brown color, which is the same on the supports as well, and it winds down the terrain. I'll put a photo of it here. You turn out of the station, do a launch, go up on top of the hill, and slowly weave your way back down, which is when you get the big picturesque turn, which is kind of the main thing that you'll be able to see from the pathway. And you hit launch 2, go back up onto the hill, and that's where you hit the shed that I was talking about. Another interesting thing that is kind of cool is that there's a lot of animatronic wolves, or werewolves, in the concept animation. And I'm kind of curious of how many of these will actually come to fruition, considering that Six Flags isn't exactly known for their theming. And if all of these do happen, this will by far be the most themed coaster that Six Flags and Cedar Fair have done. Overall, I think this is a perfect fit at this park. Now, obviously, I haven't visited here before, but just looking at their lineup, they really were missing a solid family thrill coaster. And this also gives them another launch coaster, which they only have 1. It also plays really, really well with the terrain. So this ride definitely won't be cloned or anything, but it'll also make for a very interesting ride experience. Now, the big interesting thing with this ride is what this could mean for the future of the park, considering that this is not one of the core 10 parks, so-called, in the new Six Flags chain, and they don't have a park president. The future doesn't look bright for this park, but I'm kind of confused on why they would invest such a large investment into this park if they're kind of planning on selling it. I'm assuming that this ride is going to cost like 30 to 40 million, because the ride itself, I mean, it's a 4,000 foot long coaster, and plus the theming and just the terrain will probably make construction more expensive. But it's a very interesting thing. So they might kind of keep Fiesta Texas and just not kind of count it as a core park, or they could just turn Texas into where the park president of Over Texas kind of becomes a regional park president, like how they used to have. When it comes to the chain, if this is a success, this is a awesome ride model, so I could really see these popping up around the chain. Now, I'm probably going to make a full separate video on this, but Six Flags, this is one of 3 Vekomas so far that they're opening next year. So I'm assuming that at some point, every single Six Flags park will have some kind of new modern Vekoma launch coaster, as long as they're not planning on getting sold. But overall, I think this is a perfect fit at the park. And I think this will, I mean, I don't know how far they're on construction, but it should open pretty good on time, I would say. There's a ton of like super tall support columns. And I think this is just a perfect fit, and I think this kind of could give the park a brighter future. And it's kind of a breakout thing for Six Flags as well, because if the theming goes good on this, and this ride model is great, then I think these could really pop up across the chain. Those are my thoughts on Werewolf Gorge coming to Six Flags Fiesta Texas in 2027. Leave your thoughts in the description, and I will see you in the next one.